Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So you sent us over this really interesting lecture script this week. It's all focused on that shift, from just having an idea, maybe it's buzzing around your head, to actually, well, doing something about it.
Right.
And our mission here really is to pull this apart for you. Find those actionable bits, the insights that can genuinely help bridge that gap between, let's say, dreaming and actually doing.
It's such a common challenge, isn't it? That first spark, the idea itself, feels great, so much potential.
Totally.
But this lecture really digs into why those sparks often just fizzle out. It's about making that jump, that transformation from being an imaginer to being an executor.
Exactly. And look, there's definitely an appeal to being the visionary, right?
Yeah.
The ideas person.
Yeah.
But the lecture makes this point early on. That vision only gets real traction when we, roll up our sleeves.
That's where the real work starts.
Yeah, where the rubber meets the road.
Mm.
And the first thing this lecture tackles is how to take those sometimes pretty vague ideas and shape them into something solid, actual goals.
And this is, I think, where a lot of people get tripped up. It's comfy in the idea zone because, well, the idea itself isn't demanding anything specific yet.
Right.
The lecture makes a key distinction, doesn't it? Saying, like, I want to be successful. That's just, It's worlds away from a plan you can actually follow, more like a wish.
Totally a wish. And that's where this SMART framework they mentioned comes in. Now, maybe you're familiar with it already from the material you sent, but it's just such a useful way to give those fuzzy ideas some teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So just quickly, the S is specific. Like, what exactly is the goal? What's the outcome you want?
And crucial, how will you know you got there? That's M, measurable. What are the signs, the metrics?
Then A, achievable. Is this, actually doable for you right now, given everything else?
Good point.
And R, relevant, does this specific goal actually fit into the bigger picture, your main dream? Does it move the needle?
And the last one, time-bound. Got to have a deadline, right? When do you plan to hit this target? The lecture gives this really clear example. Takes that common idea, I want to start a podcast. Okay, vague.
Yep.
Apply SMART. I will launch my podcast with 3 recorded episodes by June 15th. I'll spend 2 hours every Sunday working on it. See the difference.
Instantly. It just sharpens everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Gives you direction, something concrete to aim for, and you've built in accountability with that Sunday time slot.
Exactly. It's not just floating out there anymore.
It's interesting how adding those details, 3 episodes, June 15th, 2 hours Sunday, turns it from just a thought into something you can schedule, something you can actually start. There's that great line in there. A dream without a deadline is just a wish.
Oof. Yeah.
It's simple, but it really lands.
It does hit home. So thinking about that lecture and, maybe your own ideas, what's one thing you've been considering? Could you start putting that SMART lens on it? Even just jotting down 1 or 2 elements.
A good exercise.
Yeah. Now, okay, moving on. Another massive hurdle the lecture brings up, and I think everyone feels this sometimes, is fear. Specifically, the fear of failure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That worry about, messing up, looking silly, maybe letting people down, or just the sheer discomfort of stepping out of the known.
Totally normal.
But I liked how the lecture framed it. Feeling that fear when you're pushing boundaries isn't bad necessarily. It can actually mean you're, growing.
Exactly. It's the natural response to uncertainty. So the lecture offers 4, I think, really practical ways to face that fear. First one, start small.
Right.
Break down the big scary thing into tiny, manageable steps. The example they used was great. Instead of being paralyzed by write a book, just focus on write the first paragraph.
And there's something powerful in that, isn't there? That tiny first action gives you a little win, builds a bit of momentum.
Precisely. The second strategy is reframing failure. This is huge. Instead of seeing it as like the end of the road, a final judgment, see it as learning, as feedback. The lecture quotes Thomas Edison, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
Huh. That's such a powerful shift in perspective.
It really is. Reframing failure, as they put it. It's not about you being a failure. It's about finding out what doesn't work so you can adjust.
Okay, makes sense. What's the third strategy?
Taking calculated risks. So do your homework, absolutely. Get info, ask for advice. But, and this is key, don't let the need for perfect safety paralyze you. Avoid that analysis paralysis.
Yeah. That's a tricky balance.
Yeah.
Be prepared, but don't get so cautious you never actually, jump.
Exactly. And the final strategy for dealing with fear, visualize success.
Okay.
Instead of playing failure scenarios in your head, consciously picture the positive outcome. Imagine how it will feel to achieve it. They even suggest thinking about your future self thanking you for taking these steps now.
That's quite a strong motivator, actually, visualizing that future gratitude.
It really taps into something deep, I think.
Right.
And the lecture sums it up with this simple affirmation: I can be scared and still take action.
I like that.
Yeah, courage isn't not being scared, it's doing it anyway.
Right. Okay, so we've got smart goals, we've got ways to handle fear, but sometimes, honestly, the hardest part is just starting,
Right.
that very first move.
Oh, definitely. That feeling of, I'm not ready yet, waiting for the perfect moment or all the stars to align or something.
Yeah, exactly. But a key takeaway from the lecture is
Yeah.
you don't need to feel 100% ready.
Mhm.
You just need to begin.
Mm-hmm.
That first step, however small, starts building that crucial momentum we talked about.
And the lecture gives 3 really hands-on techniques to make starting easier. First up, the 2-minute rule.
Okay.
Simple idea. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it now. Don't even think about it. But
Yeah.
you can also use it for bigger things. Commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. Open the document, sketch the logo, write the email subject line.
Ah, I see. Lowering the barrier to entry.
Exactly. And what often happens is those 2 minutes turn into 10 or 30. It just gets you over the initial hump.
Right. I can see that working. What's the next technique?
Make it visible. Keep your idea, your goal, somewhere you'll see it constantly. Sticky notes, phone reminders, maybe a vision board if that's your thing.
So it stays top of mind. Doesn't get lost in the daily shuffle.
Precisely. Keeps the focus. And the third technique, commit publicly.
Ooh, okay. Tell people.
Yeah, tell a friend, post about it maybe, find someone to check in with you. That little bit of external accountability can be a really powerful nudge. You don't want to let them or yourself down.
That makes sense. Knowing someone else knows your plan adds a bit of healthy pressure.
It really can. And the lecture also stressed celebrating the small wins. Don't wait for the giant finale. Acknowledge each step forward.
Yeah, proof of progress. Keeps you going.
Definitely. And it loops back to that other great line, perfection is the enemy of progress.
Right. Don't wait for flawless. Just launch. Start. Get it out there. You can tweak it later.
Exactly. That iterative process often works way better than waiting for some mythical perfect version. Now, to kind of bring this all to life, the lecture shared a couple of quick success stories, real people who went from idea to action.
Oh, cool. Examples are always good.
Yeah, so first, Sarah Blakely, who founded Spanx. The point was, she didn't have a background in fashion or business. She got rejected loads of times.
Wow.
But she just kept going, took the leap, persisted. It really highlights that thing about not waiting for the right time. She just believed and pushed.
Tenacity. Got it. Who else?
Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. Started in a dorm room, right? In the first version. It was apparently pretty basic, far from perfect.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But he launched it anyway, put it out there, learned from how people used it, and then improved it. Key lesson. Waiting for perfection might have meant no Facebook at all.
That's a sobering thought for anyone sitting on an idea. These stories make it feel more human, you know? Not these untouchable geniuses, but just people who decided to act even with uncertainty.
Exactly. And the lecture then asks you, the listener, what's your Spanx? What's your Facebook?
Provocative.
It's meant to be, to get you thinking about the potential sitting right there within you. And as they say, you just don't know the outcome until you actually start.
True. So wrapping this up, this deep dive into moving from dreamer to doer, the core message from that lecture really seems to be dreaming is essential. It's the start. But the doing, the action, that's where change happens.
I got the crux of it. You don't need the whole path mapped out. Just start moving. Take that first step, even if it feels tiny.
Absolutely. And the lecture really hammered home that point about immediacy. Don't wait for some magical right time. The best time to start is usually, well, right now.
Pretty much.
So here's the challenge we want to leave you with, drawing directly from this material. Sometime in the next 24 hours, just pick one small thing, one actionable step you can take towards a dream you've maybe had on the back burner.
Just one thing.
Could be anything. Jot down 3 ideas, send one email, tell one friend. Just do one concrete thing.
And remember that feeling the lecture mentioned. You genuinely do have what it takes. You have the potential. So go on. Make that shift from dreamer to doer.
Yeah, do it. We're honestly rooting for you.
We really are.
And maybe just ponder this as we finish. How could that one small action you take today, how could it ripple outwards? What unexpected doors might it open down the line?
Yeah.
That tiny step could actually change your whole trajectory. Something to think about.